So this week, we're going to look into a little bit more details on the weird concept called emptiness. But why we're going to talk about emptiness is because awareness often brings us into, is a non-dual awareness. So what is non-duality? I mean, so we're tackling that right from the start. Non-duality is there's many ways to present it. There's a question how many non-dualities are there. I heard that David Loy, a Zen Buddhist teacher, I think Vince asked him once, how many non-dualities that are there? Is there only one? And his answer was there are many non-dualities as they are dualities. So, so there's multiple ways to look at this, which is, I mean, I think I've said that several times already, and I'll continue to say that several times. But for the perspective of this training, the non-duality we are looking at, and from the traditions influencing this perspective on awareness, the fundamental non-duality is between form and emptiness. And form, it's a little bit abstract, but we probably easier to grasp intuitively. Form is anything that has a form, which is pretty much everything. And emptiness, maybe what is that? That's less obvious. And we could use other words for form and emptiness. For instance, pattern and chaos. So that's form is these patterns that we're able to see, and chaos or nebulosity being when there are no obvious patterns appearing. And so from that perspective, non-duality is this dance between pattern and chaos, form and emptiness. I don't know how when I said emptiness, how you reacted, depending on your background, what you heard. It might be, oh, I don't know, this is such a big word. In some traditions, emptiness is kind of the culmination, and this is often the Buddhism or a lot of spiritual teachings are about make emptiness kind of the goal. You want to touch emptiness, enter emptiness. There's a big Sanskrit word for that, shunyata, which is means emptiness, sometimes translated voidness, which is like the origin or the source. There's a lot of things that can be put on emptiness, and and that can make us feel in various different ways. But from the perspective here, we're not really that interested about emptiness as the end goal or something very big. We're actually, this dance of form and emptiness is something that is actually quite present in every moment of our life. So it's more like, how does emptiness manifest in our experience? Well, when we spill the coffee, things break down, these are all forms of emptiness. It's kind of, oh, when we're not sure, where we're confused, there's all sorts of things where the patterns kind of, we don't know, we cannot make sense, we don't know where up, down is. That is, in a way, a little bit the experience, touching the experience of emptiness. Yeah. So experiential, and with what we do in the sitting, that the practice the practice you've all been practicing. It's what the purpose of these practice is actually to get to taste and become more comfortable, because another way So taking another way, so non-duality as not the non-duality between form and emptiness. Another way to go at non-duality is by opposition to duality. So if there's a non-duality, what is dualism or this the duality? And so from the perspective here is that we're calling about the habit of duality, and the habit of duality is actually choosing form. I mean, for the great majority of folks, the habit is choosing form over emptiness. So we try to maintain and usually the biggest loop there is usually around identity, self-identity, or the various forms of self-identities we are. We're trying to establish strong reference points, of, okay, I am this is solid, this is permanent, this is clearly defined, and it doesn't change, it's continuous, and making a fort out of that, and then every time some things where the boundaries dissolve, the solidity cracks, it's not that solid, or things ends, this is emptiness arising. We just kind of recoil, and in another classic teachings, this is where we do the three poison. The three poisons of dualistic habit are attraction, aversion, and ignorance. So these are the three ways in which we try to manipulate phenomena to establish the solidity of form. So we try to cling to form, grab. This is the attraction. Attraction is not the right word, really. It's more clinging or grabbing, really holding. Emptiness arising, oh no, I don't want to do anything about that. That's aversion. So I'm going either to destroy this threat or run away or things like that. And ignorance is the third one, is, oh, this is not confirming of the form nor ending it, so I'm just going to ignore that. It just doesn't register. It's not, it is not pertinent to the reference I'm trying to maintain. So ignorance is the third option. This is the dualistic habit. And what this means is that we're always in the doing, trying to control, manipulate, to avoid coming into contact with the emptiness dimension of being. If we are just be, well, there will be patterns, form arising, and there will be forms ending. It's an unending dance of energies, and that's total being in a way. Whereas or non-dual being. Whereas our normal or habitual dualistic ways is there's a lot of stuff coming up that we don't want to have anything to do with, So, and that's what that's what's called dualism. Why this is important? So in some of your check-ins, in some of the check-ins, we add that. It's kind of the nanoseconds where I'm resting and then I'm going to I'm doing something else. How do we? So a lot of the practice is about really just getting some comfort with the emptiness dimension of being. When I'm not thinking, I'm sitting and then there's a thought, and then there's kind of a gap, another thought rise. What do we do with this gap? That this gap is also the gap between, if you have experienced a gap between thoughts, often we usually don't notice those. What do we do with that? Oh, do I exist without thinking? We generate more thoughts, or we try to, oh, this is it, that's that gap, and we try to, I got emptiness, make something out of it. Whereas, so what the practice is really just to be able with thoughts, the gaps, and the thoughts, and be still present in the gaps, not just space out or go to the next thought or try to grab it. There's this. So yeah, that's the practice. The practice is getting sometimes shine or shamatha. One translation of it is getting used to. So it's getting used to form and emptiness. And where we really need the practice is the emptiness, because form, we know how to deal with form normally. You know, that's usually less the problem. Yeah, I'm going to stop here before. We're going to move into a guided meditation on how to. So it's introducing some techniques on the how to develop our capacity to be with the emptiness dimension and really remain present in the face of the confusion, the undefinition, the insubstantiality of our experience, so yeah, we're going to move into a guided meditation. But before that, I want to pause here and answer any questions on this presentation. Is there, yeah, so times to clarify if there are things that just don't make sense, you know. And I'm not going to record the guided meditation, so I think I'll stop here. So that will be it.